Hello, read it here. Today we're going to read a story from / Am I the Asshole? Now, for our first story. Am I the asshole for not letting my best friend have her wedding on my property after being uninvited? One of my 29M best friends, Carla, 31F, is getting married soon. It's only meant to be a small backyard type of wedding, but they've been planning it for a few months now, and originally it was supposed to be on my property. They wanted it because it's private, has lots of open space for the reception, a nice view, and the house could be used for them to get ready and stuff. Of course I said yes. She and her fiancé, Rick, were very happy. Thing is, Carla and I do have a history. We went out on and off in college, but decided to stay friends. Then I met my wife, we got married, Carla met Rick, and now here they are. Now my wife knows I went out with Carla back in college, and she didn't care. Carla still went to our wedding and everything. I never knew if Rick was told or not. It's not my relationship, therefore not my business to say anything, so I never did. Rick found out recently, and not in the best way. Not sure how, but from what I heard from friends is that one mutual friend told him, no idea why. We used to date. Not only that, but apparently Carla said a couple years ago she was still in love with me when she was already dating Rick. Don't have actual confirmation if that's exactly what he was told. All Carla's told me is that Rick was told about our past, and he's angry at her for never saying anything. It became quite a drama, and didn't hear from her for over a month until now. She told me they're going to couples counseling and that the wedding is still on. But Rick requested that I not attend. It sucks, but I totally get why he wouldn't be comfortable. Then I asked the obvious question, where are they going to hold the wedding then? To my surprise, she said they still want it at our place. Rick said so too, and in my mind I'm going, he doesn't want the guy who dated his fiancée years ago at the wedding, but still wants the wedding at his house. My wife and I are expected to just not be at our home that weekend, and I told Carla no. They're going to have to find some place else since we're not going to simply leave our home to them for the weekend. Not only for safety reasons, but it just doesn't make sense. Rick doesn't want me around because he's not comfortable, but is comfortable enough to have their wedding at my house. They really want their wedding here though, and because of that I've been bugged by not only her, but also Rick and some friends who think I'm being a petty asshole for not letting them have a wedding here anymore. Honestly, don't think that I am. It just doesn't make sense at all to have to leave our own place for a wedding we're no longer welcome to, and leaving our home totally vulnerable. Still, being accused of sabotaging their wedding, and Rick believes it's the least I can do after everything. Am I the asshole? Let's hear from the comment section. Comment 1. Rick doesn't want to get married anymore, but doesn't want to be the bad guy breaking up with his fiancée. So he's put her in an impossible position so he can get the sympathy when they split. Not the asshole. Comment 2. This marriage sounds like it's over before they say I do. Hope he is not the asshole. They can't have it both ways. Either you use the house and invite, or find a new place. I would definitely not leave the house unguarded. You never know if someone might do something stupid in there. Maybe not Rick, but anyone who has heard the story and want to stand up for him. If by any chance you still hold a wedding there, I would recommend replacing or hiding any times that can easily be tampered with, like shampoos, lotions, tooth/hairbrushes, etc. Comment 3. Not the asshole. What a weird request. Do you typically host wedding receptions on your property? He can go pay for a venue if he's going to act like that. If they even end up getting married. Now, for our second story. Am I the asshole for telling the girl who kissed my boyfriend for a play that she is desperate and pathetic? I, 19F, study drama at uni, and my boyfriend is on the same course. My boyfriend is a really good-looking guy, but he doesn't seem to know it. He gets a lot of attention from girls, and for the most part, doesn't seem to get that they're flirting with him. I'm not generally annoyed by this, and never really say anything. However, there's one girl in our class, let's call her Victoria, who is obsessed with my boyfriend. She goes out of her way to be paired with him in group activities. For example, if the professor picks groups by numbering us 1, 2, 3, she will move herself to be in the same number as him. And she recently stepped down from main role in a play we're doing so she could be in a more minor one, simply because this character has a romance with my boyfriend. I know this is the case because I've heard her say to her friends that she thinks he's hot and whatnot. I've never said anything to her about it because she seems pretty insecure, always complaining about how she thinks she's ugly. and I don't see it as a big deal because my boyfriend doesn't care. However, we recently performed the play and had a small after-party where she got slightly drunk and was bragging about how she definitely felt something when they kissed in the play, and she's going to ask him if he felt the same. I rolled my eyes and again ignored it until she actually went up to my boyfriend. She was a little bit drunk, and when she went up to him, I was there too. Victoria started saying that she knows he must have felt a spark. He's a really good kisser, etc. I snapped and sort of shouted at her that you sound incredibly desperate going after somebody else's boyfriend. You're pathetic if you think a stage kiss means you should be together. She looked super embarrassed and walked away, and I later heard she'd gone home crying. I feel like a dick because she's obviously insecure and whatnot, and her friends haven't stopped calling me a bitch since. Am I the asshole? Edit. She 100% knows that I am his girlfriend. I have heard her talking about me being his girlfriend before. Let's hear from the comment section. Comment 1. Not the asshole. She took it way too far. Approaching him about it was out of line. Comment 2. Not the asshole. I'd even call this sexual harassment. It's incredibly creepy that she specifically went after this minor role just to kiss Opie's boyfriend. What if she goes on to do this to her co-workers in the future? Yuck. I guess the nicer way to address her would have been, so hey, I'm sure you didn't mean to, but you're being a kind of sleazy creep and making your fellow cast members very uncomfortable and completely ignoring normal boundaries. I just wanted to let you know, and also that's my boyfriend in case you weren't aware of that either. Okay, thanks. Comment 3. Not the asshole. She's been trying to get at your boyfriend for a while, and you maturely didn't engage because it was clear that she didn't have a chance. She literally came up to him when you were right next to him and tried to have a conversation about feelings. That's ridiculous, and you were trying to be nice at first, but I don't think you had to be after that happened. Thinking that a stage kiss meant something with someone else's boyfriend is pathetic. Seemed like she wasn't going to stop until she heard that. Now, for our third story. Am I the asshole for jumping out of a bathroom window to avoid my mom's attempt at forcing a reunion between me and my ex-fiancé? Some backstory. I've been dating my ex-fiancée, Sarah, for 4 years. We had been planning to get married in November 2020, but I found out at the start of this month that she cheated on me. She begged me to give her another chance, but I broke it off. The problem was that being cheated on is, in my mind, completely emasculating and humiliating. So I never told anyone that was the reason we broke up. For obvious reasons, Sarah also didn't tell people we broke up because she cheated. So people have blamed me for the breakup, including my mom. They just see that I dumped her out of the blue. I've gone very strict, no contact with Sarah after I discovered she was cheating on me. Sarah has been talking with my mom and has convinced her that if we could talk one more time, we would be able to reconcile. My mom has been applying hardcore pressure on me to talk with Sarah, but I've explained that there's no chance we will ever get back together. So tonight I go over to my mom's place because she's hosting family for Christmas Eve. I'm there for a bit talking with my aunts and uncles and cousins when the doorbell rings, and I can see it's Sarah. I ask WDF is going on, and my mom says she invited Sarah so we can work this out in the spirit of the holidays. I'm pissed now because the only way to explain my side of the story is to tell everyone I was cheated on. Complete humiliation in front of my whole family. So, as my mom goes to the front door, I go into the bathroom. My mom starts knocking on the door, saying that I need to come out and talk to my ex like an adult. I say fuck it, kick out the window screen, and get in my car and go home. My mom called a short while ago, saying she's cutting ties with me over my behavior. She's really fixated on me jumping out of a window, and that Sarah will always be like a child to her. My sister called me after to ream me out for ruining Christmas. I broke down and told her that Sarah cheated on me, which is why I dumped her and didn't want to see her under any circumstances. She called me a big asshole who was lying to cover for myself. Am I really in the wrong? Let's hear from the comment section. Comment 1. Fuck that. Your mom, Sarah, and your sister are all assholes. The nerve of her to show up at your mom's house. I'm pissed off just reading this. I don't understand why your mother is so invested in Sarah. Why would you want to tell her Sarah cheated on you after how your sister acted? What a fucking mess. Not gonna lie, you kicking out the screen and taking off through the window is straight savage. Reflexes up on legendary. Not the asshole. Comment 2. Not the asshole, but dude, you gotta tell them why you're acting like this. People will certainly feel a bit sorry for you, but they'll realize why you don't want to be in the same room with this girl. Comment 3. Not the asshole. Actually, it's easy to blame the mom, sister, and the rest of the family for blowing past any sense of respect for OP and healthy boundaries. All they should need to know is that OP called it off and is not interested in reconciliation. It is none of their business why the couple broke up. For all they know, it could have been sexual incompatibility or anything else that knowing the details would have embarrassed them to no end. The reasons/details for breakups are and should be private. It was not for anyone else to get involved, no matter what the ex said. When the ex called the mom's response should have been, "Look, I care about you like a daughter, but this is not up to me. You and Opie need to work this out with each other, and I cannot get involved because it's not my place." If he doesn't want to talk to you, I'm sure he has his reasons. The fact that the ex called family members to force the issue is reprehensible. And the fact that they were open to discussing it and meddling says that they are TAs big time. It should have been enough for them that Opie said that it was over. The only response that needed from family was, "Sorry, dude, that sucks. I'm here for you." Now, for our fourth story. Am I the asshole for refusing to tell my husband the gender of our baby after he skipped going to the doctor appointment with me? My husband and I are expecting. This is our first baby and we're excited. Thing is, he barely attends any doctor appointments with me and his excuses aren't even valid. He's willing to miss the doctor appointment over soccer or a drink or board game with friends. His response is always, "I'm not the one carrying the baby. Why do I have to go see the doctor with you?" Last week was my final straw. He was supposed to come with me for the baby's gender reveal appointment, but he chose to not come last minute because his friend invited him to fish and chips meal. I was pretty livid, but didn't make a fuss about it. Mom went with me instead. He texted asking me to tell him the results, boy or girl, but I refused to tell him. He kept spam calling me, but I hung up each time. He came home, fuming, demanding I tell him the results, but I refused and bluntly told him. Since he refused to attend the appointment, then he gets no results till after the baby's born, and said I was wiling to die on this hill. He went off calling me spiteful and immature for doing this and punishing him. He said he's the father and has the right to know. He then called me dramatic since I wasn't alone and Mom was with me. I said he gets no results, period. He's been fuming about it and told his family, and they're now pressuring me to stop playing mind games with him and tell him, but I declined. Am I the asshole? Update. I just wanted to mention that my husband just attempted to contact my doctor to get the results. It didn't go well, and we had another argument over it. He couldn't get it since his mom was the one who made the call. Let's hear from the comment section. Comment 1. Not the asshole. Already a deadbeat dad before the baby is even born. Comment 2. I would drop a friend if I found out they prioritize fish and chips over their wife and baby's doctor appointment. LMAO, that's what it was for. Fish and fucking chips? Ha 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 ha. I be like by BRO. Comment 3. Same. I can't imagine inviting someone over to my house for a meal, saying, "Hey, where's the wife?" and being okay with the answer. "Oh, she is at a baby scan by herself." That person would not be my friend any longer. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more.